Ladies, we need a reality check. I'm checking you. You could check me. That's accountability at its finest, and that is love. Welcome to the channel. My name is Ashley. On my channel, Ashley in Africa, I share my experience of living and doing business here on the continent. I currently live in South Africa. I'm with my family here on holiday. We're doing some scouting for schools this week. You're going to hear Penelope in the background, Z, some of our neighbors in our neighboring villa. And if this type of content resonates with you, please be sure to like it, share it with someone who finds value, and subscribe to the channel. We're growing. So accountability is love. It is the purest. It's actually a generous form of love. I won't say the purest. It's a generous form of love that often isn't received with the same level of generosity. And I'm speaking on this for a few reasons, because last week I've been getting pulled to the carpet by so many people who love me, and really giving myself an opportunity to recognize my blind spots, to recognize my gaps. And I recognize in myself of recognizing those gaps that I have gaps. We all have gaps, but my gaps specifically are in things that have, my level of independence, my level of individuality, or my level of kind of doing things my way. And I've had to do things mostly in my life out of survival, and that looks interesting in different situations. And while I am healing, I am not healed. But I'm also in a space where I'm welcoming accountability because I recognize the gift that it is. I also love when y'all come for me in the comments correcting me, but I made a really big blunder on calling the president of Russia a dictator. And this is because of my Western conditioning. I've always heard that word and I've always heard that term. And I noticed that the people that were speaking on this were not American, right? Because that's what we've been taught in our media. And that's not true. He was elected, reelected. I've listened to his talks. He's a brilliant speaker, also very fair, very even keel, doesn't have a bravado in the way he delivers information. And a leader who also, in the perspective of what many people don't know, Russia's support of Africa for different levels in different parts of the continent, their support of the people, their ability to be sovereign. These are things that we need to respect. We don't necessarily have to agree, and we don't have to even understand. We can just respect. And so for me, I am a student of learning. I'm a student of economics, a student of geopolitics, because I wasn't taught this way, and I am retraining and relearning. And so if I've offended anybody with that statement, I, left several comments, but the accountability for me is key because I value accountability. It helps me to grow. And it's something that, as a woman, an activated woman, a woman that is in her divine, I value that. And I see anybody who wants to give me the gift of accountability, or opportunity to be accountable, I see it as a gift. And so it's just something that as women, we need to check. I'm sitting in the back of our villa and there's nature here, guys. So there's zebras there. They said elephants can come and say hello. But I digress. So, we need that for each other. We need that for ourselves. And we need to know the value in accountability. There's no need to be defensive when someone corrects you, even if they're wrong. There's no need to be defensive when someone says something that doesn't align with your values or your beliefs. It's an opportunity for you to be still, to process, to give thanks, and to engage or not engage, because there is also power in your pause. Pause. I see so many of us reacting and responding so quick to reacting and responding in ways that we don't really mean. I've been there. I've done it. I probably still continue to do it with these children. But for the most part, I recognize that there's power in my pause and accountability and being able to recognize when I'm wrong. Wow, like that is the growth that I've been working for so long, because I've made tons of mistakes. And in those mistakes, I'd like to think that I've asked for forgiveness, or I've apologized, or I've moved differently, right? So there's something about being held accountable and moving the same, right? Like you need to now move differently. You can't say, okay, I receive that, I understand, and do the same things, because then people, now they see who you are and they believe you. But if you make mistakes, we all make mistakes, and we all deserve to be held accountable. The way that we have been removed from our culture that called for accountability, that we now call judgment, or we want to say being in people's business. No, I wish in so many of my circumstances and situations that people would have really held me accountable. And maybe some did, and I just wasn't ready to receive it in that moment. But I know that for a really long time, I was seeking people to hold others accountable and to also hold me accountable. But, growth, I'll take it. So how do we do this? How do we accept accountability? Well, we need to be in a community of people that are loving and generous with their love. And that isn't oftentimes our friends or family or even our partners, because oftentimes we put up this bravado of strength and resilience and, hustle, gotta make it work, gotta make a way out of no way, survival. And people need to see our gentleness, our need for support, our needs for help. And truly, we haven't always been allowed to do that, but no longer are we in survival mode if we choose to step out of that. There's a series of events that have happened to us. Probably so many of us could relate to, whether it's childhood, whether it's traumatic relationships, whether it's a combination of the both, grief. These things shift our perspective and ultimately can shift who we are. So we have to get in community with people that are on that journey. And we also have to do the things that are not normal for us, that are not getting us the results that we have today. But they're a little bit different, right? They're changing our diet, changing our patterns, changing our routine, changing the words that we say about ourselves and to ourselves. And oftentimes we don't really know what that looks like. And while I am an advocate for therapy, multiple therapies, all types of therapy, I also recognize that there is a need for community. There is a need for my sister to hold me accountable, for her to feel like she can take up space doing so, and for me to feel like I can take up space receiving it. And these things aren't always readily available to us. And we've been able to create this online community. I'm so grateful for the growth. And as I continue to work with women in their businesses and in their transition, so many of us are taking these leaps of faith, these powerful actions, without really knowing how to do it or trusting ourselves, because we never have trusted ourselves ever before. So the time came where I wanted to develop something alongside one of my best friends who inspired me to move to the continent. And together, we've been able to support and sustain each other while living in Africa for nearly 4 years with both of our families, leaving corporate America and making it work, right? Being in our fullness, in our creativity, loving motherhood, loving partnership, revering our partners, and requiring healthy relationships. And over the last few years, it has been a journey and it will continue to be one. But we put together the things that we knew would help others because they helped us achieve the transformation that we now have. Living in abundance, living in complete joy, living a life that we don't have to vacation from. And so we introduce you the Activating Womanhood Challenge. It is a 6-day challenge for women only to really go from accepting the things that you have to receiving the things that you deserve. And we'd love to have you in the challenge. It's been exclusively available to people who signed up on our waiting list, for those that are following us both on social media and that are subscribed to the emails. And so if you did not get any insight about this, well, the access holders, they get priority, and it will be a really small group, and the challenge will sell out just based on the group that we're gonna have. The size of it is meant to be intimate and small so that we can really create space for people to be vulnerable and to have powerful transformation. So go ahead if you want to get access to the challenge. The link will be in the description below, as well as the pinned comment, and we would love to have you. This is for women that know that there is more for them, that know that there's something telling them that where they currently stand and currently sit is not their destiny. Women that are tired of caring for everyone before they care for themselves. Women that want to trust themselves again in every circumstance, that want to rid themselves of negative self-talk, negative belief system, especially surrounding money, that want to prepare to find the divinity within themselves to attract their divine partner, that want to remove mom guilt and literally create the relationship with their children that they wish that they had with their parents. So learn more on the website. It's all there. We'd love to have you. Click the link in the description if you'd like to join us. Registration will be open for a limited time, as there are limited seats, but we would love to get you in. And if you know of a woman who you love and you value, and you think she's amazing, but she may not realize how amazing she actually is, send this video to her as well. She'll really appreciate you for it. So until the next time, I'll see you soon.